What areas of opportunity do you see for portfolio companies leveraging AI technologies to drive innovation and growth?
Yeah, so I will speak, I think broadly what I'm seeing across industries is that we're looking in our industry for growth levers for our investments. And that, again, cuts across sectors. And there are a couple of things that are particularly promising for what we're seeing. It's the rise of enterprise data, what we can do with it.
Mhm.
And from a tech perspective, the barrier to entry is lower than it's ever been. So you no longer need to have a dedicated team painstakingly developing a model for your specific task. You can probably supercharge that, start with an off the shelf model that will get you already 70, 80% of the way there based on your data. So that combination gives us a lot of room for growth and for quick wins in
Yep.
ways that previously required a lot of establishment of a lot of local teams and talent and stuff of that kind. And now we can um, supercharge through that. And we're still seeing a variety of companies at different sizes and at different compositions that take different approaches to how they use the power of their enterprise data and couple that with the lower tech barrier. But we can bring to the table companies that previously couldn't have really even dreamed of
Mm.
using that type of technology. So that means we can tackle both productivity gains. It could be in code development, could be in information surfacing and summarization, could be in customer service or general content generation. But there's also another bucket of innovations and new product offerings. There's a real opportunity in providing valuable information in accessible and novel interfaces. And this could be across audio, video, web, apps, wherever you're accessing your data in whatever forms it comes, we can interact with information in a meaningfully different way. And then we can also expose data to users or stakeholders, abstracting away the nitty gritty details of how you do the data analysis or how do you pull information from data sources you have. We're also
Mm.
seeing virtual assistants and personalized contents that are becoming a lot more viable now. So all of these things, all of these use cases together bring a lot of opportunity that cuts across the various industries that we're overseeing.
And are you seeing like differences between, let's say, size of businesses like coming to you? Because okay, the thing is, obviously, a lot of companies can have all this data, but they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So is that sort of,
Yeah.
I guess,
So
you're seeing that a lot? I guess, is it smaller firms having bigger problems, or is it like the larger companies where the data needs to be in a more structured way?
we're seeing a little bit of everything, to be
Okay.
honest. We're meeting our teams where they are. I've seen organizations that have small, savvy teams that are task
Mm.
force could be two people going at it, putting something together and getting started based on open source or just off the shelf APIs that they can get started with, and one or two use cases that they're hoping to tackle. They can leverage a lot of the tooling that already exists out there, or they can leverage low code platforms that are being proliferated in this space. There's a bubbling open source community around tooling, especially for LLMs, but also for machine learning more widely. And we've seen some success for smaller teams that have this combination of, let's say, one business champion and one data person going at it together and just
Mhm.
dedicating time to it and pushing two use cases together. And then usually they would gather some, traction and appetite from the rest of the business to come along and then spend more resources in that direction. We've also seen medium companies that have a combination of tech and product champions, and then you would see maybe them bringing some external partners into their work. And in that area, I would say there are a few opportunities these days. It could be in the lower code platforms that can also provide some service support as well. It could be in actually startups that are getting started. There are a lot of builders out there that are very excited about the new possibilities and are looking for market fit. And a lot of times they won't have the domain expertise
Mhm.
that established companies that already have their own wealth of data and so forth and a lot of experience in their industry. They can come in and help bridge the gap in a way that will build more general SaaS products perhaps out there, but can still support the use case that companies in the mid-market would have, and putting the right protections in place, that could be a win situation. Other approaches we've seen is bringing in some external support from augmentation services, from build shops that are going more and more in that direction, usually after a first POC that has shown success went through and maybe went to production, and then there's more external collaborators you can bring. And then I would say there are also firms that go all the way to build a new dedicated team around these use cases. I've seen a few of those who see this as a transformational moment that is touching a lot of services or capabilities that are core to their business value. And they have bold initiatives to drive both efficiencies, but also productivity gains and, product innovations in ways that could be quite fundamental for the business. And they would usually start bringing and hire people internally. So those would be in-house built teams with strong AI leadership and data science support around it, usually in communication with either an existing engineering team or some external engineering team support. But really, we've seen a variety of ways people approach it. I would say the main advice that we have in this area is just to have strong business and technical alignment over these things, and don't have too many teams going off doing their own side projects without considering a single sort of backbone of tooling, so that we don't end up having multiplicity of tech solutions that are doing the same thing but are not seeing the bigger picture.
Yeah, no, it's interesting to see every company's on their data journey. It's just everyone's all over the place, really, isn't it? Everyone's at different challenges. So that's why I think it's just every day is a new day, isn't it? Every day is a learning day, because new things are constantly happening and new changes. Yeah, it's never ending. This people in data.
Trying to be in this area for sure.